Jesus said, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All have sinned and have forfeited their right to be in the presence of God. Every last person on earth, now, in the past, or in the future, has fallen into that same predicament. Christians say none deserve heaven. But by the gracious gift of God, through Jesus Christ, we're offered it as a free gift. It's not something that we earn. It's not something that we deserve. It's not something that we've accomplished on our own. It's something that God has done for us. And so the difference between Christianity and the rest of the world is that the rest of the world says, this is how you come to God. Christianity says, this is how God came to you. That's that big theological term, incarnation. God coming to us. God becoming like us. God being made real to us. There's a sense in which God stoops down, reaches down to us in order to lift us up. He did that through His Son Jesus. That was God reaching down. So when Jesus says, I am the only way to God, He's exactly right. Because God had never reached down. God had never stooped there. God had never become like His creation, like us, so that we could see Him, know Him, touch Him, walk with Him, talk with Him, understand Him. He did that for us. He did that because He wanted us to know Him in ways that we couldn't seem to catch on before. He had sent prophets to tell us all about God. We didn't catch it. He sent lawgivers to tell us about God. We didn't catch it. He sent the wayward to show us what it was like to live without God, and we didn't catch it. So God says, I will send my Son. I will go. And surely they'll know. And yet we still don't catch it. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Now that may sound exclusive. It may sound intolerant. Trust me, tolerance is not the highest value that humankind has. You can be tolerant of everything, which makes you stand for absolutely nothing. If everything is okay, then what's the purpose of doing good? It's like a religion that would say, well, let's make it so that everybody goes to heaven. Well, in order to do that, we would have to negate all of the differences. Now, there are some that would say, well, there really aren't that many differences between Christianity and anything else anyway. So let's just move them together, make it very eclectic. Eclectic's one of those nice college words for stew. Let's just put everything in. Take a little bit of everything. Make it all okay. The problem is Christianity stands in opposition to Islam. Christianity stands in opposition to Buddhism. Christianity stands in opposition to Hinduism. Christianity stands in opposition in terms of the way to God in every religion on earth. And guess what? So do the other religions. You can't meld them together because there's too many things that are going in polar opposite directions. Logic says if you're going east, you can't accept west. You can't be going in both directions at the same time. That's a dilemma even too big for Solomon. You have to make a choice. And that's the hard part, isn't it? We have to make a choice. Jesus claims that He's the only way to God. And some people don't like that. Say, well, I'd rather have something else. As though somehow they were just choosing another flavor of ice cream, right? I don't like chocolate, so I'd rather have vanilla. The problem is Christianity isn't like ice cream. If anything, Christianity is more like medicine. When you go to the doctor and you're sick and you need to be healed, you don't go in and the doctor says, you need this medicine in order to get better. And you can say, I don't like that medicine, so give me a different one. I'd rather have the purple one that tastes like grapes than this. But it won't heal you. But I like that one better. The problem is, Christianity is in the business of healing people spiritually. It's more like medicine than it is ice cream. You can go to the ice cream shop there at Fall Creek, 79th. You can pick out one of a couple dozen different flavors. And you know what? Every one of them will be as equally bad for you as the one before. But it'll taste wonderful. But if you go to a doctor, they tell you, you have to have this. You have to have an MRI. You have to have this particular medication. You have to go in for this test. Why? Because that's what your illness needs. Our illness needed Jesus. There was no other way back to God. It may seem intolerant. It may seem exclusive. But you know what? It's also very inclusive. Because anyone in the world can have it. There's no limit on the amount of people who can come to Jesus and be saved. That's the good news. Sometimes if somebody's got a rare disease, they're told, well, there's only a very short supply of medication. Therefore, it's very, very, very expensive and you don't have the money. So you don't get it. Supply and demand. Fortunately, with our God, there is no supply and demand. As much demand as there is, there's even more supply by God. He made us. He loves us. He wants a relationship with us throughout all of eternity. Is there only one way to God? Certainly there is. There's no one in history who has been able to substantiate the claims that they've made like Jesus. And we've gone over those the last few weeks. But it means you can't go out into the world and pick and choose your faith. You can't go out and say, well, I like this part of this one, but I don't like this part, so I'm going to choose this one over here. You pick Christ, or you pick one of 100 others. But you can't have both. That's the choice. That's the decision that God has laid before you. One or the other. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father but by me. Let me close with a little illustration. When I was in Canada, family started coming to the church. The mom and the kids had been part of a church all of their lives. The dad came occasionally, very bright, politician, used to making good reason, good decisions. And when he came to church, he let me know right away that he was a bit skeptical.